So, did you see me plant my magnificent cock on the Screamer's chin? That was freaking awesome! I know I made Primus proud. I even left little Energon gravy on his chin, so he could eat it later, if you know what I mean.
You're so charitable. Do you have any left to spare?
You're a sick, sick little turd. And besides, it's not Thanksgiving.
It could be. In Canada.
Why the Betty Crocker is Canada? Is it over by the Snozzberry Fields known as the USA? I don't know anything about this planet.
Isn't that French for Ghostbusters? Also, where am I? Where did my bar go?
You're at HQ, you frickin' dolt.
You mean there's more to life than the bar? What is this, magic?
I don't know what's going on, so there's only one thing I can do. Bumblebee, can I shoot you in the face for old time's sake? Please?
This is coming out of nowhere.
They don't pay me enough to be consistent. So can I ram this bullet into you?
I sense a disturbance in the fabulous. I feel a tickle in my anus, and the gerbil died years ago.
Can we change the subject back to me? I mean, I am the latest Prime, after all.
Magnus, I don't think...
Swerve, I need you back at the bar. The ladies wanted gravy, but I defecated all over the stools. And RC's threatening a lawsuit again.
But RC's back on Cybertron.
What? And who the hell are I... Mommy!
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. I wonder if she remembers me and my ever so luxurious scrumptious dick.
And this is a team that's here to protect humanity. Prepare for the apocalypse, save the women, throw the children. It'll be amusing.
You're going to hell, aren't you?
I am hell, motherfucker.
Can we please, for all that is fucking holy, focus on me, you cock-licking, dick-eating, batshit monkey fuckers? I am the motherfucking Prime!
Please don't turn into barricade.
Who was that one again?
Who made you in charge?
You did.
I did? Who the fuck put me in charge of that fucking decision?
Oh, I love mayonnaise.
I sure hope the battle went well with the Decepticons. Hopefully they'll learn not to mess with us.
This is New York, bitch!
I think you killed him.
Ah, cocks. Well, since his model is a pimp, and he's now the bitch in the relationship, Ultra Long Poopy, you're now the Prime. Happy birthmas, bar mitzvah ahoy.
Optimus, you're drunk. You already made me the Prime years ago.
All 7 of you? Where's the beef?
My turn! Crosshairs, get the lube.
No.
I know what I'm having for dinner.
This is fucking stupid. I'm out. Too many goddamn dick jokes.
Alright, tailgate, sandstorm, front and center.
Oh my. You finally want to talk? Do you need me to fly? Oh, do you need me to fly? I can fly. I can fly. Let me fly!
Put the shrooms back and take Optimus to Wheeljack's lab.
Oh.
I'll be in my quarters alone.
I get the lower half.
Why?
'Cause nothing fun happens with the top. What's the mouth gonna do the ass doesn't?
I don't know. Kiss?
You've never seen me in action.
What, on the battlefield?
Well, if you want to call it that.
Crossers?
For the last time, you don't need a gold Rolex for a golden shower.
Do you think Ultra Magnus seems fit for command?
Not really, but I don't care. It's kind of my thing.
He just doesn't seem like prime material.
And you know this because...
Oh, come on. The bleeding, the stuff, thing, all the talk about the pee-pee area. Really?
Yeah, it does seem odd. But why should you care?
I think we should investigate like spies.
Seriously?
Yeah, it will be fun.
I'm not fucking interested. If you haven't noticed, I don't give a fuck about most things.
Just go see what Magnus is up to.
Why me?
Because you're the ninja.
Since when?
Since the fairy princess granted your wish in my imagination.
Well, why don't you do it?
I can't. There's a strict rule in my imagination that's against it.
What? Actually, never mind. Fuck it. I'll do it. But only because I'm in the way between you and Jetfire.
Hi. Do you like horses?
I want that jiggly bubble butt.
touch!
Diary log to Teletrain 3. Date 2/1/15. Bumblebee is starting to annoy me. I think he's close to uncovering my secret. But I'm glad they all don't suspect me like he does. But some days, I wish they did know. I don't know how long I can keep this act up, and if we will soon come into a battle that requires the Matrix. And then, well, I'm kinda fucked. I can only pretend for so long. But until then, I must sell the part. Until the real Prime emerges.
Oh, shit.
Well, better time than ever. Time to jack off. This is Ultra Magnus beating... signing off.
I think I've seen this guy before. Oh, it's the Green Giant! I was hoping he'd be bigger.
The Seeker's an interesting case. Originally, this specific character was a nameless Decepticon who took part in an ability to basically fry Autobots with devastating acid rain, thus his name. Fans were intrigued by this concept, and the specialized squad called Rainmakers became an obscure favorite. It wasn't until 2008's Universe Classics when the Green Acid Storm got his official toy out of nowhere. Since then, Acid Storm came from one episode of Generation 1 to getting a bigger role as a gender-confused Seeker in Cyberverse. Seriously, he's portrayed as female and male in different episodes. Just pick. In Generation, Starscream released and we knew we would get a repaint, but for Acid Storm to beat Thundercracker and Skywarp was impressive. But how did the toy do? Before we take a look at Acid Storm, early Legends figures include these half-target, half-micromasters. Acid Storm is packed with Venin, a somewhat new character. You see, the Starscream came with Waspinator. Originally, the follow-up repaint was going to be Thundercracker and was planned to include Venom based on an original Insecticon. But in the change of plans and probably copyright issues, Venin was born. First of all, ew, bug. Second, as a little figure, Venin is a bit of a looker. I like how the deco's countered from the Wasp, with the green and purple swapped. However, the feel of this figure should be taken as a delicate Fabergé egg. Bug mode is the most sturdy with the head holding it in place, but I still don't feel comfortable with messing with it. It's got a peg on the back so you can plug it into the hand of some toys, and what kind of Twilight Zone shit is this? Does he swat bugs with it? The legs can move, physically speaking, but each joint is connected by another leg, so it's best to, well, try to line them up, and by try, I mean I hate these rubbery little... It's fine. In robot mode, you can definitely see the Waspinator in this, but with the black head, it kind of gives him his own personal vibe. It has a surprising amount of movement. Individual arms, legs are combined, but they do move, and the backpack can fuck itself. This junk really doesn't like to stay. I wish there was a tab to keep it together. Whenever I pick it up, I have to fix it. I guess it could be a flying effect, but it's lame. You could give him the Seeker null race on the smaller peg. Doesn't really stand, but if you can manage, then Rambo mode. Fold down the peg, bring together the back wings, and the barrel will extend to become a gun. You can see the robot from the bottom, and the legs are gross, but the execution is better than some of the other figures. Basic, but as a bonus, I can't really complain. Acid Storm transforms into a bright green jet similar in design to the IDW concept. The color might not be for everyone given how vibrant it is, but for me, I wish I could make love to colors. Such a beautiful, eye-catching color that's perfect for the original cartoon, who retained mostly green in the color scheme, but they threw in a taste of silver, white, and purple with two standout Decepticon symbols. And they didn't just trace around with white, that Decepticon logo has a slightly darker tone. I mean, I guess extra points, but we didn't offer extra credit. There's a burnt orange cockpit, but without a trace of color, it just looks like a baby diarrhea smudge. Landing gear on the front and two at the knees. While the back is stationary, the one in the front does fold up. But if you don't hold the rubber cockpit, you'll get into some issues. But I'm glad to say the Snoop droops. And when he pours acid rain on his foes, he could witness it as it unfolds. At night, all he could hear is the scream. Unless he's Pyro from TF2. I could be wrong here, but the shape almost feels like the classic style jet, but with the proportions of the F-22 model used for Starscream in the film. Anyone else get that? I don't know why I'm waiting for an answer on the pre-recorded video. You can plug a weapon on top, including Venin himself, but you also get 2 null rays that attach to the sides. Plugs right in, and you don't need to remove it for the transformation. Little easy to knock it out of place, but easy to readjust. Besides, without it just feels naked. The alt mode will bring you back to the classic episode, more so the very scene he was introduced. The excellent shape and bright color of green pops, making this very appealing. Robot mode. Storm is so simple to transform, I'm sure the chubby kid from Monster House can figure it out. But the robot mode is actually more satisfying than some larger Seeker molds. Have I mentioned Power of the Prime Starscream is pure puke? Robot mode brings in more silver and black, but the green remains prominent. Now that is one spicy Italian specially prepared meatball. One thing that's disappointing is the head. The paint is a little messy, it gets the point across, and the sculpt has all the features of a Seeker, but with the pin shoved right in there, there's no head articulation. Given the size, it's not a big problem, just a burden of how it's developed. Do you know what acid rain does to robots? Are you proud of yourself? Don't look at me with those eyes that make me feel good. Did someone say articulation? Ball jointed shoulders, ball joint elbows, ball joint hips, knee joint, and a joint in the heels and toes. If there's another thing I have to really complain about, is that there's no tab to keep the wings from flopping like a big salami. It's not really loose and can't get out of the way of the arms. I just wish there was a tab to help it. These smaller wings fold up to clean the legs, but you can also open them up, and he can assert dominance and intimidate snakes. And Wade Knight in Jurassic Park. Weapons include 2 null rays in black that you can add to the shoulders, or you can remove it, plug it into the hand, and now you have pissed me off. The fact that you can do this? Despicable. I will take my ignorance elsewhere. If you move the arms, chances are you'll have to rework the null rays in place. But hey, be patient, some men need a little work. At least it's on the upper arms this time. Makes me a giddy little boy, but even better is that he actually uses the cockpit as the chest. I swear these larger figures are trying to prank me. You don't need Venin as a gun. He's got weapons to work with, but you know, I'm not complaining. Oh no. What if he sprays acid venom? Is that toxic masculine something or other? I have a soft spot for Acid Storm. Character-wise in the show, there's not much to it, but he is incredibly obscure with an interesting ability, and to top it off, this is my favorite color. I feel this one's gonna be harder to grab, and his short size is not for everyone, but there's no harm in it. Seems to be a basic toy, but compared to some of the other Seeker molds, it's impressive, not to mention the brighter colors makes him a standout. Plus, I could do green screen, look! We're back at the dinosaur era. Amazing.
What the hell is going on?
Crosshairs! How much of that did you hear?
I heard all of it.
Oh, well, let me explain.
Who the fuck records himself saying I'm gonna jerk off now?
Oh, that? I just like sharing, you know?
To Teletran 3, the database for all important information?
But it's my dick! It is important! It's biblical in proportion!
I doubt that.
But the ladies love my delicious cock.
Side note, for the love of God. What was that I heard about the Prime and the Matrix? And, shit, for the record, I'm not referring to the Holy fucking Trinity either.
Well, I'll tell you everything. A long time ago, a man who claimed to be my uncle had this dark basement that he called his sanctuary.
What the hell does that have to do with the Matrix?
Not a damn fucking thing! I just really love sharing! Alright, so a while back, Optimus gave the Matrix off to a new bot.
Right, 'cause Optimus retired some time ago.
Well, did he tell you he doesn't even know who he passed it on to?
What the fuck? Was he drunk or something and forgot? All 7 of you? Where's the beef?
Anyways, he gave up being the Prime and the Matrix was passed on to another who we don't know. Whoever the Prime is, gave me this communicational device thingy.
You mean a walkie-talkie?
Ah, shut it. That's a kid's toy. This is a real fucking thing. Anyways, he asked me to take over as the Prime until the Matrix resurfaced with the true Prime. Autobot or not.
You mean the next Prime could be a fucking con?
Watch your mouth.
I said con.
Oh, well, yeah, it could be a con as well. The Matrix is very unusual when it comes to picking our leaders. Crosshairs, I need you to do something for me. I need you to investigate the Autobots on this arc and see who the next Prime is. But do it in secret.
In secret? What if I need to interrogate?
Then do it secretly.
That doesn't even make sense.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
What?
Look, covert ops make as much sense to me as Tailgate being straight, which I doubt he is, but it has to happen. For Prime's sake, I know you can do this. For all our sakes, please do this for me. In secret.
I'm telling you, you're fucking senile.
While you investigate the Autobots, I have ordered another one of ours to investigate the cons.
Who?
I'm telling you, they must have had at least 10 or 20 flesh wounds each.
Hey, Starscream, you know that part where I want to be left alone? Well, I want to be left alone.
Oh, shut your vocal processes, you soon-to-be melted piece of scrap.
Melting like Megatron's cock in your mouth?
What's with you and Megatron's cock?
Oh, today is my slacking off day. Tomorrow I'll write new material.
I wish I had a slacking off day. Nah, it's always work, work, work.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
What does that have to do with...
We have a doorbell?
Yes, since the year 2005.
One of you get the door!
Starscream, come. We must discuss certain matters.
Barricade, get your sorry ass up and answer the door. I'll see what Megatron wants.
Oh, is it bitch beatdown time?
Go fuck yourself.
Great suggestion.
Hello.
What the fuck do you want?
Well, fuck you too. But may I have a moment of your time to discuss our Lord and Savior Primus?
It's not like Shapeways probably has one of those.
You probably did that with the original MP10.
They did. They made articulated hands. They made like they were like 2 separate companies at least that did it.
Hey Dakota, can you see me in my office?
No.
You're promoted.
Your balls.
I like balls.
You're hired.
If there's one thing I like on my
I like
women,
your balls.
it's balls.
If there's one thing I like on my women, it's balls.
If there's one thing I like on my women, it's coffee.
I like my women.
Hot
how
steaming coffee that I just threw on them.
You got promotion.
She's screaming, "I need to go to the hospital, Jerry!" I'm just standing there like, Angela, wheel her to the hospital and make sure that she gets a window office. Just you hear from down the hall, "What? Shut the fuck up, Jerry. Sit down in your cubicle."
Can I see you in my office, Jerry?
You're fired from Subway.
From Subway?
Jared from
We're at Subway this whole time. Barbara, how's that report on that steak and cheese? That's going really good. But I can't figure out how to put the pickles on it.
Jerry, whether it's toasted or not toasted, I need it by Friday.
And Saul, if I could get that on Italian American cheese, that'd be great.
All right, here's my paperwork. It's a sandwich. It's stapled together.
There's like fucking bunches of ink blots all over the fucking
This paperwork's delicious. Hey Hound, I heard you like humans. So much that you wish you were one. So much that you wanted to be inside one. That's right. I know what you did to Spike. You should be ashamed. Hound loves humanity and Earth. He just has so much love to give for it, and even prefers the planet over Cybertron, who he's long become bored of. He may be a tracker, but he commonly uses his holograms to disguise himself and cause a distraction, once duplicating himself to save his human friends. Hound returns in the first wave of a new generation subline after Prime Wars called Siege War for Cybertron. No, not the old games. Quit asking. Seems like the theme will be focused on weapons, which makes Hound a perfect addition. So, how does he do? And how does Siege hold up from its start? Let's take a look at the box. Feels a little flimsy, especially on the tabs, but the artwork is wicked nice on the slanted side, presenting an epic stance on the front. Just like the Studio Series toys, the cross-branding continues with both Hasbro and Takara Tomy. The back feels out of place, looks like something from a knockoff. The text font and blue color just doesn't really work. Can we talk about the instructions? What a great start to the toy line with very clear steps showing where things tab in, and even presenting weapon titles that everyone's gonna forget. Hound in alt mode is a Cybertronian version of his original Jeep-style truck, although it looks more like a Hummer, and I know there's an argument that this is an excuse to be lazy, but allow me just to dump on that idea. I think it's just to make the toys a little different, but still recognizable, rather than doing the same thing over again with more articulation. And even if you still think otherwise, for an open canopy truck, there's no real kibble, and if there is, it blends with the toy. What a solid little piece. Everything fits in nicely, nothing's really falling apart. The hell power of the primes! Yeah, this boxy Warhawk feels really good and fun too. Wheels roll nicely, and yes, the arms are on the bottom, and if you assume that I don't care, yeah. These black bits at the bottom are meant to be the heels, but they cleverly engineered and designed it to be step ladders without being too obvious. If you don't like the new silver marks, I'm glad to say that the ones on the legs kind of blend in or get covered up, but the front bumper actually looks decent. And more, I'd assume that the bumper's not gonna come out clean unless the bad guys are fighting with Windex. Love the black and green, transparent clear windows, and the paint with a nice copper trim with white, yellow, and red for the lights. The ammo clip can be stored on the peg, and the two guns can be added to the top. You can also plug them to the sides or two places on the back. Though if you want, I did find a way to store the two guns. Turn the hand and you can add the blaster between the arms, and there's a peg for the back on the robot mode right between the legs where you can sneak in the launcher and make it look like an exhaust. Not an electric Cybertronian alien Jeep, just making a guess. It's even got the Autobot logo and the start he got in 3rd grade. Why does he have that? Well, the little truck mode is already a win. Plump and juicy, just the way I like any alien Jeep. But how did they do with the robot mode? Hound is one square, bulky, military-esque scout, fit for the task at hand, built tough and ready to take action on Spike. Hound's form is solid, but the feel of the toy is something else. From the backpack, which the tab doesn't really hold, so as soon as you push in the center, it might pop out of place. Aside from that, this is a sturdy toy, much better quality than a good chunk of the Power of the Primes toys. All the joints feel right. Not too loose to flop around, but not too tight to break apart. Take notes, Studio Series Bumblebee. And the plastic material also feels good. These black pieces feel like they're made of a softer plastic, but it's used to an advantage. The head sculpt is unmistakably nostalgic. He retains a classic boxy helmet, but the line work and molding on the face is impressive. The eyes are painted, but they're clean on my version. And there's even a beard on the beard. How? Did someone say articulation? Ball jointed head, shoulders out and in, forward to back, rotation below, elbow bend, wrist rotates, hips out and in, forward to back, rotation below, knee joint, and amazing foot tilt.
Oh, and also, woo!
They did not skip out on articulation. Joints all around with a good looking figure makes a messy in my pantaloons. Though, just from its development, the feet are never really straight, and they do lock out of place, but it's nothing too bad. The paint job is really good. You get all these lights painted in, more copper trim, and now silver and blue for the face with the new Siege battle damage marks. Something the Siege line seems to continue to most toys in the main line is these scratched paint applications that are either brushed or stamped on. Some of it can be fine, but in here it's a mix. The chest does a great job with the bumper. You can even say that the black is actually the paint getting scratched off if you prefer, but the silver on the legs isn't good. Feels slapped on and only retains to the larger piece, leaving some of the leg left out. Let's take a look at the accessories, part of the new combat system, which is short for mech tech, but not absolute crap. You can port weapons from the line all over the place. 2 in each arm, 2 in the shoulders, 1 in the back, 1 in each hand, 2 in each leg, and 1 in each foot. So if you want shoe guns, I don't know you. You could also take the Combiner Wars or Power of the Prime's feet if you want. Why you want? The Battlemasters also come with flares, which you can port all around the toy to add a battle effect of getting shot. Or maybe Hound is a weapon. Hound includes what is described as an RT-10 IR electroscope launcher, which is based on his shoulder cannon. You can plug it wherever. I mean, it's not bad as an arm cannon, but we all know that it has a spot right on the shoulder. Also helps keep the backpack in place. He also comes with a W5 hollow beam refraction blaster, which is a simple weapon itself, but with the added ammo clip, you can tap it to the side and give it a little more oomph. All 3 pieces can combine to form an HD Vector Beam Mega Blaster, and suddenly I'm getting Gundam vibes. It's cool in itself, but Hound should have a shoulder cannon, right? Paint job is great as mentioned, but I have to point out those traced out stars on his arms. Oh, so good. I also love how they threw the wheels on both sides of the legs. It makes it feel kibble-free and just juices him up a little. So Siege Hound is my introduction to the line. So what do I think of it? Well, I can't avoid talking about the price. Generation seems to have caught up with Studio Series, and it's just not the same. However, the quality and articulation has been amped up. It feels like they didn't slack off and worthy of that price, especially since a lot of the Prime Wars figures was getting weaker over time. Hell, he feels more sturdy than toys early generations. If you love Hound or just want one for your collection, this is a remarkable piece of engineering that really strives for a great value. I'd say get Hound as soon as you can. Also, he's good shoe shopping.